Hello, it's Mr. D here. Welcome to part 2 of How to Read Music. Last week we looked at notes on the music and how to learn that. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go back and watch that. It's very helpful. Part 2 today is on understanding the keyboard. So as you look at a piano, we're going to talk about some of the basics that you need to know about how to get familiar with how a keyboard's laid out. If you look at a keyboard, there are two colors. We have the white keys and the black keys. They're all called keys. So this is different than the key that you would put in your car or in the door of your house. These are keys that you play with your fingers. And if you added them all up, there's a total of 88 keys on the piano. The two colors we're looking at is white and black on the keys. And they start to the left of the piano are the low sounds. And if you go up high, you've got the high sounds. We usually live in the middle, the beginning. This is where students start to learn how to play the piano and where most of our voices lie is in the middle of the piano. So we spend a lot of time there at first. The black keys are laid out in groups of 2 and 3. So if you look at it, it's a group of 2 and they go up in order. They just get higher in pitch, but it's the same note just repeated. And then we have a group of 3 black keys also. The white keys all have names. So in the musical alphabet, we have A through G, and every white key is assigned a name. An easy way to remember the names is a method that I use with my young students. I call the 2 black keys a doghouse. And so inside of a doghouse, we have, obviously, lives the dog. And so we have D. You can always find D in the middle of 2 black keys. Now, an animal that would not be found in a doghouse is a cat. And so to the left of the doghouse, we have cat. So we have cat, dog, and then an animal that would definitely not fit inside of a doghouse is an elephant. And my young students find that quite funny. So we have cat, dog, elephant. So that's C, D, and E. This is the doghouse. The next one we have is the monkey house. And so outside the monkey house, because we're in Florida where I teach, we have the flamingo. And he wants to be in the monkey house, but he can't because he is a bird. And so we have the flamingo. And then inside the monkey house, we have the gorilla, the ape, and the baboon. So we have 7 animals on the piano: cat, dog, elephant, flamingo, gorilla, ape, baboon. And so there's 7 letters here, and the piano starts with A on the bottom and goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then repeats itself 7 times. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Keeps getting higher, but the pitch is changing to a different octave. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And it goes all the way up into the rafters where none of us can sing and only dogs can hear. I want to show you how this works together with music. And so this is the first note that students learn a lot of times. It is the note C. And so if you look at C on the music, it's this line that has a note sort of in the middle of it. And that is this note here. It is C. It's in the middle of the piano, and we learn that called middle C. All right. And then the next one that comes up is D, and it is here. My keyboard's covering it up a little bit, but you get the concept. E is one above that. See how the notes are gradually climbing? So as they climb on the page, they climb on the keyboard as well. And then we have F and G. So that's played with the right hand is the treble clef, C through G. This is called C position, where most music normally, it's where we normally start teaching music. Okay, so that's C, D, E, F, G. Now the next one would be a bass clef, which is for your left hand, and that is going to be these notes here. So you have C is the second space from the bottom, D. So as you see the note going up on the page, you play up on the piano, E, F, and G. Okay, so that is C, D, E, F, and G in both hands. Okay, so let me show you how that works in actual music. And so on the music, we have notes that move up and we have notes that move down, and those all correspond with the piano. So here we have C, D, E, F, and that goes up on the page and up in the piano. You start with your thumb and you go up 4 notes. Here's another example of a skipping pattern. We have G, E, C, C, G, E, C, C. And then the next one we have is E, D, D, C. In part 3 of this series, we're going to talk about the note values and why these different, the way notes look differently. You hold notes for different lengths of time. And so that will be next time in part 3. And then the last thing I want to show you is an actual song that I work with students on. This is in one of the beginning levels that I start with. And it is this is a song you may recognize. This is called Largo, and it would be E, G, G, E, D, C. D, E, G, E, D. Then you go to the second line. G, E, E, D, C, D, E, D, C, C. Like that. Okay. So you see how when the notes move up on the page that they move up on the piano, and that's how it works. And so as your student is learning, the notes on the page match every key on the keyboard. Okay. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. That's a little bit about the keyboard. Next week, we're going to talk about rhythm and how that works. Every note has a different value of time that you hold it. And so be sure to watch part 3 as we learn a little bit more and make you a little bit more knowledgeable about helping your student. If you have any more questions, feel free to look at Hudson Piano Studio. I have a frequently asked questions section on there, and you can find out more information. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.